Hello guys, Woohoo here, back with another video. This time around we're doing the news again, and this is the week 19 we're into right now, and we have the live stream notes provided from Zero, so thank you so much, Zero, for providing these and doing this like all the time. It's really appreciated, and yeah, well, it helps out me and everybody else. So this time around they wanted to talk a little bit about the PvP update, and that's coming start summer. Some people are saying May. I think that is too soon. I think like June is my prediction, but you never know. We never know. But it's coming at least before like summer. So definitely, I would say before July. And we also talked about the PvP update on the podcast. That's also on the channel if you want to go talk about. Want to see what we talked about in the PvP update, what our thoughts was, more on that and stuff like that. So I don't want to go into it too much. They did talk about it a little bit here in the start, and of course this is going to be linked in the description, so you can always go down and you can just click it and read it yourself if you feel like you want to do that. But they teased an image, this one here. And I don't know why they teased this image, because this PvP map I've already played, not with the floating boxes. As you can see right here is some floating boxes that's basically power-ups or something like that, but this particularly PvP map I've already played on one that is very similar to it. So I don't know why this would be a tease, because like I said, I've already kind of played this and I guess a lot of other people have played as well, because it was just a map that was in the rotation, I guess. But anyways, I'm not gonna say much about PvP until we have more to grasp on, and like what is facts basically. But I'm excited to see some. We talked about battle royale kind of style and stuff like that, but that is all in the podcast. I suggest you go check it out. It was AM and he was amazing, and thank you again so much to him for being on. So let's just jump into the questions and answers. So the first one is about somebody has moved the outpost NPCs to their cornerstones, and they see that happen, and they're trying to make preventions now, so it's not possible in the future. I don't know why. If you move your cornerstone, isn't that just going to do something? I'm not sure, but I don't see this as being something that you should try. I don't know. Next thing is a little bit more concern is the lock-in issues. So we recently have had, at least on PC, I'm not sure if it's basically on every platform, but at least it's on PC, I know. It's the world lock-in bug, as we call it, where you get stuck at what it says world, semicolon, lock-in, and then it just stays there, and you have to either like close down the game, or you have to do type / the tutorial, which says right here. And they looked into it, and then they could see that it was a much bigger problem than it started out to be. So that's kind of that's very concerning. And now, as of the day, as of playing, and I'm also of course recording this on Saturday, I have also now seen the AS semicolon login. So that's account service login. So that is also a bug now. So if you receive this, it's basically the same thing you have to do. Either type tutorial, or you just close down the game and open it up again. And sometimes it can happen up to 7, 8, 10 times. I've heard even 10 times people have to close their game or type tutorial or something like that. So we just have to thank like the gods, the RNG gods, or whatever. Definitely not thank Tryon World at the moment, but it's really an issue, and what I was about to say about the thank you is that Trove doesn't take ages to open and close, basically, because if it took like 5 minutes to open, 2 minutes to open, and you had to do it 10 times, well, that's 20 minutes right down the drain, basically. But they're working on it, and hopefully we'll see in something, that is done by this, because it's kind of annoying. It's not game breaking, it's just annoying. Sometimes you have to wait a certain amount of time for people, and it's fine. But again, it could be spent on other things, basically. All right, so they're saying, what about reworking power rank contents? It's basically like the same people winning over and over and over again. They're saying, I kind of feel like that, but it's also people also put their time into it. So it's kind of like, if you put the time in it, shouldn't you be rewarded for that as well? So yeah, I guess I would like to see a lot of people winning instead of just a few. But I also see people, if they put in the effort, why not, reward that as well? But they're talking about revamping the power rank contest as well. So why isn't there a way to organize storage and trophies? We added a few personal storage, and then not Trove specific, but something. Okay, so they're actually putting more free personal storage in the next big update. That's very, very amazing to hear. Something like a trophy case. Basically, I'm gonna quote another game. Basically, right now, there's going on in Path of Exile something called Beastery, or I'm not saying that right, but the league is basically around catching beasts around the world and stuff like that. It's kind of like Pokemon. I'm not saying like we should catch the trophies in that sense, but I'm saying have like a storage for like a where everything just goes in there, and then it just stacks in like 900 or 9,999 or something like that, and then you can pick and take one out and stuff like that. I definitely think that trophies should be like that, because I just destroy my trophies because it just keeps piling up and piling up and piling up. So I just delete them basically. But if I had like a specific inventory that didn't take up my regular inventory, that would be great, like our currency tab and stuff like that. Yeah, why isn't like right now we're just Decor award. Okay, so it could also be listed in the collection, but I would say as we have 3 tabs right now, we could definitely have a 4th tab. We could have many tabs, but a tab that says trophies, for example, or something like that, definitely, because I would love to do more with trophies, but they just keep cluttering one's building inventory, and yeah, I would love to see them somewhere else. So yeah. Is it possible to address the issues that Shadow Tower bosses trophies not being stackable? Oh, see, even like Shadow Tower bosses trophies are not even stackable. So if you're lucky enough to get 2 of those, it just takes up 2 slots. Like, yeah. Definitely, again, would be nice to have a tab for that, definitely, 100%. Any plans of doing something about backlog style of decor? And okay. We have mentioned a couple of times about starting more issues. We started a few costume mounts that you will see in the next update. Okay, so it's about when people add or submit something to Trove Creations and stuff like that. They haven't heard back, I guess. It's kind of not going with the flow kind of thing, but they are starting with a few costumes and mounts in the next update. The next update is of course the PvP update. Can you make the sound of Radiant Stellar Drop easier to be more recognizable? We're looking to reweld so release of the next tier. Yeah, okay, so they will relook like the sound for that when the next tier comes out, and we still don't know what that tier is going to be called, but yeah, we know that there's coming something higher than Stellars during this year, definitely. Can the platform for Neon Outpost be made like Spawn so blocks can be placed and not be destroyed? Okay, we're considering adding a layer of indestructibility. Okay, I think this is something to do with maybe some of the NPCs you could move, but yeah, really don't know too much about that. When would the Fun Factory get new things? Not as a right answer, but several new block types will. So we also see a few new block types. Not the most of exciting things, I would say, they basically, but I guess that's what we get. Is there going to be any more use for Fury Feathers? Yes, no details on it yet though. Oh, so the feathers is something. Oh, because with this, right, is that right now you can collect 100 feathers, you can make the Phoenix mount. They have said in the past that this is 1 out of 5 guardians for like the what's it called, Forbidden Spires biome, and we got the first one, and then they're gonna add. I think it's only 4. It might be 5, but I'm pretty sure it's 5 in total. So they're adding 4 more, and I was pretty sure that this was not gonna be more feathers, but it might be. So I'm actually gonna start saving my feathers if I get any. I'm not farming them at the moment, but you know, I might, if I get some randomly by being in the biome, I will definitely save them now, because it might be that we have to use feathers for these as well. There's the Fury feathers, which I thought was going to be something different, like other things, like other kind of feathers, but because Fury one seems like fire, right? And I don't think it's going to be like 4 or 5 in total fire birds. But I'm definitely going to save mine now, and I suggest you guys do the same as we have now. Can console get the same box opening mod as PC has? We would totally like to rerun the time box opening process. We will get around someday, but not there yet. We understand the pain though. So out there is so many great mods. I gotta shout out Dave and Simple and a few other people, Storm Reaper, those guys, and there's a lot more people out there that makes amazing utility, basically, like the box opening mod, the enhanced UI, the core efficiency, all these things that are just a bunch of mods that we have in the game. Like one with the boss radar, which is really nice. It's not that don't think it's gonna have to be implemented in the game, but like the box opening thing, enhanced UI, core efficiency stat, all these things that somebody has already made, they should just take these mods and just implement them in the game, rewrite them into the code so they make the game smoother, and just credit these people with the something for what they have done, basically. If of course these modders want they're basically the mods implemented in the game, because then you are kind of going around the whole thing that basically consoles doesn't have mods and stuff like that. Are there any plans of more frameworks for some existing biomes? There will be more related in the new content coming out. We tend to add more specifically visiting old biomes. So this is hopefully something also a reference to that we will get in more sub-biomes for the other ones. I've talked this in the past about just copying sub-biomes, the sub-biome concept to other biomes to visit, basically. Of course, make it in their theme. We talked about this on also on the podcast, where we talked about like the treasure islands. You know, the treasure islands could have basically a mermaid kind of city underneath. That would be the sub biome. So you had kind of underneath, you had to swim. Of course, you had to revamp maybe some of the swimming or something to do with water or something like that. But definitely something we do with sub-biome to a treasure island biome. Basically, that will also be great. We talked about that. Right. Next thing is, will you able to obtain more methods to obtain meteor fragment, as they are currently only spawn in one section of one biome, perhaps adding gardening bench or swamp mobs drops. Meteor fragment, cinnabar are 2 items we're looking at it. Additional to cinnabar will be getting a tome, for example. So cinnabar is getting a tome. We also talked about tomes and stuff like that on the podcast. Actually getting it through the gardening would actually not be very terrible. I would actually think that would be actually super amazing, because that is actually easier to just do it. I would rather have these things that you can grow through basically gardening, instead of getting it through tomes, because we talked about this. If you add everything to tomes, like meteor fragments, cinnabar, whatever, everything had a tome, right? Why would you ever go anywhere besides shadow towers? Because you can just keep repeating doing these and just go there. So actually the concept are actually something you could grow, and you do have to grow it. Like, you can't grow it of course in shadow towers, but something you can plant and you can therefore harvest in that sense. I think that would be absolutely amazing, and I think that should definitely be something you could do. And then put like I know you have the instant growers and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know. Make it kind of expensive, I guess, but yeah, there's lots. It's just that we didn't want to be like only in shadow towers. That's basically. Any plans of more organic blocks? It's on our list for community requests. No further updates. Okay, so we guess we get organic blocks, so that's be great. I like those a lot more. Next is what is up with the block growing from other dimensions in Trove Atlas in the hub? Oh, okay, that's the block. That's the one we talked about. The floating block out in the where was it? Like out in space. We talked about this later. So many theories on it so far. We'll tell you in just over 2 weeks. So we will see like we will see the drop properly with this with like like we did with heroes. We will see the drop in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, that is, let me see, 2 weeks from now, is we're talking around here. So that's the 18th. We will see on the live stream the 18th. We will see the basically the thing drop, or basically they will probably announce what it's gonna be named, the update. I don't think we're gonna see it in May. Like I said, I think we're gonna see it in June. More or less, I would think it would say start June, because of they know people are like maybe away from the summer in the summer and stuff like that. People want to go out and like enjoy the sun, which some maybe personally maybe need to get some more sun. But the point is that I think we will not see it in May. I think that's too soon, especially when they will tell us in 2 weeks. They will spoil what the thing is, and then they will start getting more information. So yeah, basically this was the news this week. Of course, I will link also the live stream here for you guys in the description. Also, the note will also be in the description as always. And I want to say thank you guys so much for watching this new show. If you liked it, if you have any comments, put them below. Like the video, helps me out very, very much, and I do super, super, super appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.